Hi, my name is Brooke Michael, and I am one of the advisors here at the University of Michigan-Flint for the School of Nursing. And today we're going to talk about the University of Michigan-Flint's RN to BSN program. So this program, a lot of times I get asked the same question at a table event or one of these webinars, and that is why choose the University of Michigan-Flint for my RN to BSN? We're well aware that there are a lot of programs out there to choose from, and so why this one over another one? So I'm going to go over kind of like our top 10 reasons as to why, and the majority of these I'm going to go over in more detail on the next and upcoming slides. So first off, we are CCNE accredited. Kind of just shows that high quality, high standard of education through our accreditation. When you're going to look at graduate programs, if you're going into an MSN, DMP, CRNA, DNAP program, whatever it may be, a lot of times they want to see that you came from a CCNE accredited program. We do have undergraduate certificate opportunities or options for students so that when you graduate, you not only graduate with your BSN, but also a certificate in one of our areas. We have study abroad opportunities, which is very rare for an RN to BSN program. We have an opportunity most spring to go to Kenya and use that as part of your community course. We have an early assurance option into our MSN and DMP programs. Early assurance is kind of where you can kind of hold your seat or hold your spot in our competitive admission MSN and DMP programs. We also have an RN to DMP with MSN option, which is where you can kind of skip over the BSN, take some prerequisite classes, and skip over the BSN and go straight into a nurse practitioner program. We have no prerequisite courses that are required for our program. So it doesn't matter to us if you had anatomy and physiology or if you had chemistry or statistics, whatever it is, we don't require any specific classes to start our program. On top of that, you can start our program prior to you graduating your associate's degree and prior to you passing your nursing license. We have advisors that work with you from table events like this webinar or a physical table event all the way to graduation. We do not have an outside marketing company. So if you see somebody there, they're an actual University of Michigan employee and more than likely probably your advisor. So you can work with me from today until the day you graduate. So you don't have to worry about hearing one thing at a table event or a webinar, and then come to find out that that's not the truth once you actually speak with the advisor. We create personalized course plans for every single student. So even if you and your fellow classmates or your friends all went to the same program, you may have changed your major, taken additional classes, maybe even afterwards you want to go faster or slower than your fellow classmates. We have personalized course plans for each and every single student, and that's because all of our classes are offered online, and all of our 100 to 400 nursing classes are offered every 7 weeks. So that gives you that ability to be flexible with your schedule, to take time off if you need to, go faster or slower, whatever you need to finish the degree at your pace. And finally, we do give you 15 University of Michigan-Flint credits for passing your nursing license. Those aren't transfer credits. Most institutions give them to you as transfer credits. We give them to you as University of Michigan-Flint credits. So let's talk a little bit more, like I said, about some of those bullet points. And the first one we're going to talk about is, again, the one that we just mentioned, which is those 15 University of Michigan-Flint credits. So those 15 credits for passing your nursing license can be used towards a couple of different rules. First off, you need 120 college credits to graduate with your bachelor's degree. Doesn't matter what degree you're going for or where you go to school, you can't have a bachelor's degree and have less than 120 college credits. So these 15 credits can go towards that if you are kind of shy on that rule between what you transferred in and what you still need to take with us. The other thing that it can go to is towards what we call our senior rule. So a lot of our students are doing their plans concurrently, meaning that they are taking classes simultaneously or during the same time frame that they would take classes at their community college for that ADM program. So with that being said, traditionally our nursing curriculum is right at 30 credits. And most of the time you're supposed to take your senior semester or your last 30 credits with us in order to meet that senior rule. We have that wiggle room of adding in those 15 NCLEX credits so that you can do the program concurrently and maybe only have 15 credits left to take with us after you graduate, graduate with your ADN, depending on on what you've decided to take concurrently while you're in your associate's degree program. So you'll work closely with your advisor to work and make sure that those credits are applied correctly and work towards your benefit. So we do have certificate opportunities. Let's talk about those different certificate opportunities that we have. We have an undergraduate leadership and management certificate, case management, and nursing and healthcare informatics certificate. All three of these certificates are fully online, and they only add about 1 to 2 additional classes above and beyond what is built into your RN to BSN program. We're going to go over each of those certificate courses on the next couple of slides where we talk about the curriculum. And you, like I said, you can work with your advisor to work those in so that when you graduate, you not only graduate with your BSN, but you'll also graduate with a certificate in one of these areas. And that's going to help you with your job applications. You can put on resumes. If you're going to conferences, then you can have an extra potential badge, or even set for those national certifications to be nationally certified in one of those areas. We also offer the Sexual Assault Nurse Examiner, or the SANE certificate. Now, this certificate does have a couple of things to keep in mind. The coursework is completely online. Like I said on the last one, completely online, but you do have some visits to Flint for this. You need to use our simulation center. So keep that in mind, that you would need to be able to come to Flint. The coursework is online, but coming to Flint for simulation. On top of that, you do need to have some work experience before you can start the certificate. So you need to have been a working nurse before you can start into this certificate. But this is for people that want to do the Sexual Assault Nurse Examiner. So if you want to be certified in that area. So that with this certificate, and this certificate only has a specific advisor, and her name is Vicki. So if you're specifically interested in the SANE certificate, you want to reach out to Vicki. A couple more things to talk about. Like I said, with this SANE certificate, you do need your nursing license passed, and you do need at least 2 years working experience as a nurse. So my concurrent students that are still in their associate's degree program, this is not the certificate for you right away, maybe after you've been in the field for a couple of years. But my nursing students that have been in the field for a few years as a registered nurse and are coming back to finish up their BSN, this is something that you could also do concurrently with your BSN. Now, also to keep in mind, this has a HRSA grant associated with it, which could pay for the certificate entirely. So you could even add this on and it would be free. So this is for nurses who live in rural or what they consider underserved populations. So again, if you're interested in the certificate, if you're thinking maybe I qualify for that HRSA grant or maybe not, and I want to know more about either the grant or the certificate, please reach out to Vicki directly. Again, she is the advisor only for the SANE certificate. So you can reach out to her and ask those additional questions. So let's talk about what is early assurance. That was one of those bullet points on that slideshow just a few minutes ago. And so what is early assurance? So early assurance is an opportunity that we provide for our RN to BSN students. And what it is that it's those students that know they want to go on to an MSN or DNP after they finish their BSN. And so as long as you maintain a 3.5 GPA or better, and that's overall, so that's an average. So like if you've got an A and a B minus, it'll still average out to that 3.5 GPA. But overall, everything you take at the University of Michigan-Flint, doesn't matter what you transferred in, so don't worry about what you got in your associate's degree or previous colleges. Those don't count. Just things you take with us. You need to maintain that 3.5 GPA. So you can fill out the form to say that you want to hold your seat in the early assurance program after you have completed 4 of the required courses. They are NSC 180, Nursing 300, Nursing 307, and Nursing 316. Required courses, have to take them in the program. Once those are completed with a B+ or better, you can fill out that early assurance form to say that you're interested in it, let them know when you plan to start in graduate programs. Keep in mind that you cannot start into graduate programs until your BSN is done. So always make sure you pick a term after that start. If you want more information about either the certificates or the early assurance program, we do run a webinar on each of those. So just go to our website and look for the events tab at the top, and then find the early assurance webinar or the certificates webinar. Same thing with the RN to DNP with MSN. Going to go over that very quickly on this slide as an opportunity for students. And again, if you want more information regarding our RN to DNP with MSN program, attend one of those webinars. Same thing, events page, events button, excuse me, at the top of the page. So our RN to DNP with MSN is for students that hold their nursing license. So you do need a valid nursing license to apply. So again, my concurrent students, you couldn't apply for this until you graduated and also have your nursing license passed. It is for the high achieving associate's degree nurse. So you do need a 3.5 GPA or better in your associate's degree in nursing program or your last 60 credits. If you don't have 60 credits, don't worry. If that's not how much your associate's degree program was, it's just your last credits, whatever you took. You do have to complete these courses, these prerequisite courses prior to starting into graduate programs. So you'll see those kind of bulleted there down below: English 111, English 112, NSC 180, 300, 307, 316, 369, and 412. All of these classes are required in the RN to BSN curriculum. You can kind of start into these prerequisite classes. And then if you decide you want to get your BSN, you would just need to talk to me or one of the other advisors about the remaining classes that need to be completed to get your BSN. But this is, again, for the student that wants to skip the BSN and go straight into graduate programs. If you think you would need your BSN for a future employment or you would like to have your BSN, then you want to keep going with the RN to BSN program with that early assurance into graduate programs. So transfer guidelines. So to transfer in, you do need a grade of a C or better. If you have a C- in a class or a D, that class will not transfer in. Now, it's no worries as long as it's not like a general education class that maybe you needed, but for the nursing curriculum, it's okay. There's nothing that we require a specific grade for. Just keep in mind that it can't go and transfer in if it's less than a C. You do need an overall GPA of a 2.0, so that's everything you've ever taken, along with at least a 2.75 in your nursing coursework. As always, transfer credit subject to change. So before you take anything above and beyond what's built into your associate's degree program, so if they require it to get that associate's degree in nursing, obviously you have to take it. But if you're thinking about taking something else like a general education or something like that, make sure you talk to one of us first so that we can help you and make sure your classes are going to transfer in correctly. We do have a transfer database. You're welcome to look through that and see the classes you've already taken and see how they transfer in. But again, if you're taking anything above and beyond what's built into that ADN program, talk to one of us first. So this is a pre-admit plan to study. I know it's super confusing. I'm going to try to break it down just a little bit. But if you want more information about it or you just didn't quite still understand, you're always welcome to email one of the advisors and we can help you. So this is just so you can get an idea what the curriculum looks like. On the left-hand side or the left-hand column, those are what's called your general education requirements. General education requirements stay the same no matter what bachelor's degree you're going for. So even if you're going for a bachelor's of business or a bachelor's of nursing, you have to have general education classes. So you'll see they're all, the categories are kind of like in yellow. So you have like English composition, finance and quantitative literacy, fine arts, humanities, etc. So the majority of our students transfer in the majority of these classes. So most of these are met by transfer classes. On top of that, two things. One, if you have the Michigan Transfer Agreement stamp or the MTA stamp, all of your general education are waived. So pay no attention to that left-hand side. It's all gone if you have that MTA stamp. If you're unsure if you have your MTA stamp, you need to talk to your community college advisor to see if you have the MTA stamp or what it would take to get the MTA stamp. So make sure if you don't have the MTA, that's okay. They just transfer in individually. Just letting you know if you do have the MTA stamp, all of those are waived. Same for my students that have a previous bachelor's degree. So if you were a student that got a bachelor's degree in business a long time ago and then decided to go back to the community college and get an associate's degree in nursing, and now you're going to do your BSN, all your gen eds are also waived. So I don't care what general education classes you took at your previous college or university for your bachelor's degree, those are all waived as long as it's a regionally accredited institution within the United States. So let's talk about the nursing curriculum. The nursing curriculum is in the right-hand column, just the right half. So the bottom half is the certificates. We're going to talk about that in a second. The right-hand column is your nursing curriculum. It is right at 30 credits. So these are the classes that you would take with us. Sometimes some of these can transfer in. Keep in mind, though, that you always have to take at least 30 credits with the University of Michigan-Flint in order to have a degree from us. So the other option class down below are those certificates. Those are, again, optional. You don't have to do those. But again, it adds bulk and information for your resume so that if you're ever applying to a future job, it's going to look really good on your resume to have these. These are also tailored towards the national accrediting exam. So if you decide you want to be nationally certified in one of these areas, you'll have the content to be successful on those. So you'll see that there is the leadership and management, the case management, and the nursing and healthcare informatics certificate. Now I'm going to go over one of them with you so you can kind of understand it. But then you can kind of talk to your advisor or myself about the other ones if you're interested in it. So let's talk about that first one. So you'll see that very first certificate is the certificate in leadership and management. You'll notice that the first two classes, nursing 420 and nursing 370, have a red asterisk next to it. With that red asterisk, what that is that's showing classes that are built in or required as part of the RN to BSN program. So you'll see nursing 420 up above, about 3 columns above, is nursing 420 in part of the nursing curriculum. You have to take that class no matter if you're doing the certificate or not. Same thing with nursing 370. It's a required course in the RN to BSN curriculum. It's up at the tip top, second class down. And so you're taking that no matter what. Nursing 380 can be your nursing elective. You have to have a nursing elective in order to graduate. You'll see that right under that health policy class under 370. It says 1 to 3 credits in nursing elective. Nursing 380 can be that nursing elective for you. And then you'll see where it says choose one, and there's a list of classes you can choose from. Some of those classes are offered online at the university. You could have also transferred one of those classes in. So like I said, it can be at only an additional 1 to 2 classes, and then you graduate with not only your BSN, but for that example, also your certificate in leadership and management. Again, if you want more information about those certificates, you can talk to your advisor, or we host a webinar every month about them. So let's talk about some common questions that a lot of students have about our program. So first, how many credits can I transfer in? And so what you want to keep in mind is there's no limit to how many credits you can transfer in. So you have 180 credits, you can transfer in 180 credits. You have 60 credits, you can transfer in 60. But the thing you want to keep in mind is, as I mentioned before, you must take at least 30 credits with the University of Michigan-Flint. So even if you transferred in 180 credits, that's awesome, but you still need at least 30 credits at the University of Michigan-Flint. So when can I start? Students can start any semester, fall, winter, spring, or summer. We actually admit every 7 weeks. So there's twice in a fall, twice in a winter, and twice in a summer that you can be admitted. You can take time off if life happens. You won't be penalized if you take a semester off. As long as you don't take more than a year off, you don't have to readmit. You stay in your current catalog. So like I said, we offer our 100 to 300 level classes every 7 weeks. So that gives you that opportunity. And as we mentioned before, you can start prior to finishing your associate's degree program and or prior to passing your nursing license. Are the instructors from the University of Michigan-Flint? Absolutely, they are. They're the same instructors as if you came to campus. You could meet them face-to-face. These are not correspondence courses. You will have quality University of Michigan faculty. Is this degree a University of Michigan degree? That's the question I always get. That Flint word throws students off. It absolutely is. It is the same diploma if you went to Ann Arbor, Dearborn, or Flint. It's signed by the same people, so you have the same diploma and you have the same alumni benefits. So what are your next steps? So we always suggest applying first, and the reason is because it's free and it's good for a year. And then after you're admitted, you can book an appointment with us to go over what transferred in and what you still need. So first, how to apply. So here's our website. You visit that. Again, as I mentioned before, the application is free and good for a year. What you want to keep in mind is make sure you pick BSN completion as your major. Even if you are currently in your associate's degree program, it is a direct admit program. You do not have to do a secondary application. So Pick BSN completion, even if you are concurrent or still in your associate's degree program. Do not pick pre-nursing. That is the wrong major, and you will be confused by all the classes it tells you to take. After you apply, then you're going to send in transcripts from all colleges attended. Even if you think, I didn't do well in those classes, I don't want them to transfer in, or I won't use those, they're not applicable to my next degree, or whatever the reasoning may be, we do need a copy from every institution. Now, we can admit you with unofficial copies. So if you can log into the college's website and get a copy of your unofficial transcripts, then you can send those in. You don't have to do the officials to get admitted. So once you've done that, then you can book an appointment with one of us. You can, after you've applied and sent in those transcripts, it normally takes about a week to be admitted. So you could book that appointment for a week out, or you could just wait until you're admitted and then book the appointment. So this is our website to book appointments on. We offer face-to-face appointments in Flint, Lansing, and Port Huron. And we also offer phone and virtual appointments Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, but we have extended time slots, early morning and late evenings, Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for phone or virtual appointments. Tuition and scholarships. So the tuition is $542.50 per credit hour, starting in the fall of 23. We do offer a lot of scholarship opportunities, so I highly recommend reading through all these scholarship opportunities. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of scholarship opportunities that are applicable to a lot of our students. So the first one I talk about is the Go Blue Guarantee. So the Go Blue Guarantee is a great scholarship for students that are willing or wanting to be full-time. So that's the one downfall, is you do need to be full-time. Some of my students need to work part-time or have to work, so they want to go to school part-time. So that is one thing to keep in mind. You do need to be full-time. You can start in the fall or the winter semester. It cannot be a summer start. You do need to have a transfer GPA of a 3.5 GPA. So keep that in mind. And then it will go off your income. So make sure you have a FAFSA on file to see if you qualify. It also needs to be your first bachelor's degree. You can't be pursuing your second bachelor's degree. So if you think you qualify based on those criteria, you can book an appointment down at the bottom with our financial aid department to see if you qualify. So let's talk about some other transfer scholarship opportunities. So this is our transfer scholarship that most of my students qualify for. So this scholarship, you can be part-time or full-time, and you only need to have an overall GPA of a 3.0 instead of the last one was that 3.5. Now, keep in mind the last scholarship was full ride, so that's covering everything, but this one is just a 3.0. So you'll see the different amounts, again, is covered in a fall and a winter semester, not in a summer. But you can see the different amounts depending on if you're a full-time student, a part-time student, or a 3/4 time student. There is nothing you have to do to get this scholarship. If you meet those criteria, the scholarship is automatically added to your account. So now we're just going over our contact information. Again, I'm Brooke Michael, and that's my contact information. We have 4 advisors you can work with: Stephanie, Jennifer, Tiffany. You are not assigned a specific advisor, so pick the advisor that works best with your schedule. So if you need to meet with me one time and then Stephanie a different time, that's totally fine. You just find the date and time that works best for you. So that's the end of our presentation today. If you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to one of us. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day.